Yeah, we're live.
Right.
Yeah, we are.
Hey, it's Tuesday.
Is it?
It's when we do our show.
That's right. It's Tuesday, 7:39.
Wow.
Yeah.
We usually do it. What time do we usually do it? Well, we're all over the map with the show
Yeah, we were.
when we did it.
I don't remember. I think last we tried doing it earlier. Like I think it was like 4 o'clock.
4.
Yeah, 4 o'clock. So that it wouldn't interfere with dinner and all that stuff. But yeah, we. I don't know. Ever since we read what that lady said regarding the importance of what we had to say, and there's a lot that we've always had to say.
There is. I mean, we definitely have opinions, and some people might not agree with them, but I mean, and our views change. Sometimes like the wind blows. But that's part of life. Sometimes it's blowing from the east, other times it's blowing from the west, and you just, you learn different things, and life teaches you lessons and stuff. And we've learned a lot in this season of our lives.
Definitely.
I mean, we left. What was it? We did a video the other day. Back in April, called "Reconnecting to Connect" or something like that. Disconnecting.
Yeah.
And we had someone comment about it and say, what was it they said? They said something.
I predict you guys will be back in 2 months. And he thought the video was made in August, and I said, you don't want to check your dates. The video is actually April 11th, and we've been off for 5 months, over 5 months.
Yeah.
So,
but it's like we've learned a lot in that time period, in what we've been through, our life experience. I mean, in that time, I moved. Obviously, for those that followed my channel, I moved to Minnesota and was there for like a couple of months, and we almost got divorced.
Almost.
We almost called it over on our relationship and stuff like that, and it didn't happen, obviously, because we're together and we're happy and we're married. So, and we have a beautiful new home and 2 wonderful new additions to our home, which are these little kittens who can run around and cause a little chaos,
drive you crazy,
and pounce on us at night and everything. But a lot of things has happened in that amount of time, and we do. As I'm 48, he's 54. We're transgender, and we're a married transgender couple, and we have a life lesson to share with people. We have experiences that we would love to share with people. We have opinions that we love to share with people, and we don't want the trans issues to just be painted in one light, and for people not to, take a good look at things, at how they look like from our perspective.
Definitely.
I mean, not saying that our perspective is right.
Well, no, everybody has different opinions and lived experiences, but one of the things, they're doing something with it.
No, they're in
the bedroom. Yeah. The cats have their own bedroom.
Yeah.
How many cats have that?
Not their own closet. Though.
No, they can't go in the closet. It's our closet. But, I find that there are patterns in a lot of things, and one of the key patterns that I find is that a lot of people do deal with childhood traumas.
We're watching a show on Netflix called Afflicted, and it's a show about people that are dealing with unexplainable diseases and illnesses and things. Some people that have chronic fatigue syndrome, something called ME, apparently, people dealing with Lyme disease, and coming to understand that a lot of these issues, and it goes for us in the trans community as well, trauma. trauma.
And they disassociate from their bodies, you know, and they identify as a patient because, you know, some of them were at borderline success, you know, to get to the point where they're just making it. Some of the actors or what's a guy who did music scoring for movies and things of that nature. But somehow, I must have gotten salsa on my watch.
I know. Clean that off.
Yeah. I'm just like, damn, I got blood on my watch and it's salsa. And right to the point of success, they started getting sick. It's almost like fear of
success, and or the stress
from it. And thank you.
Get it?
Yeah, you got it.
Whoa. Sorry, Pokey. He like doesn't know his boundaries.
No, it's very dangerous. Sometimes cats get into people's feet and people fall, especially the elderly. But yeah, then they take on the identity of being a patient and they become hypochondriac about everything.
Well, we were watching this one video with this trans man who finally, I guess he's excited that he finally has a diagnosis for what his condition is, you know? And it's like, once they get that diagnosis, now they can really grab hold of that identification and hold on to it and say, hey, I'm not abnormal. I have this, and this is my, you know, whatever, you know, I'm OCD or I'm, you know, whatever it might be.
And the common theme in this show that we've watched is a lot of the insult to injury to the nervous system, and the nervous system seems to be affected, you know, and it's like,
but it starts in the mind.
In the mind, yeah, it starts in the mind from traumas that created that disassociation. And some of them get dystonia. That one lady kept getting this muscle spasms and uncontrollable muscle spasms, and
another one has like electromagnetic sensitivity or something. So they're sensitive to cell phones, to light, to
refrigerator, anything emitted,
electronic, anything emitting electromagnetic waves and stuff. I mean, and she's actually moving away from her family and her husband of 22 years. To be in an area where they don't have cell phone towers
or any kind of power lines near or stuff like that. But yeah, it's, gosh, we're living in a world that everything has to have a label and everything has to have a diagnosis. To, of course, find some sort of cure, and always the cure or the treatment is not always best course of action, you know, not for everybody, you know. Okay.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy because, you know, people are like looking for answers and looking to Western medicine to find those answers for them, and then they become very frustrated with the system. And the truth of the matter is, hey boy, is that you're not really supposed to, you know, like, I mean, you can't blame Western medicine for not finding answers that they don't have.
No, because,
you know, their answers are drugs and antidepressants.
And the human condition has become very unhuman. We're living in a world that's full of synthetic chemicals and lights, you know. One of the things that I noticed that made me very tired while working at Walmart were their fluorescent lights.
You complained about those lights
every time I walk into or shopping. So imagine, you know,
you'd be like, I don't know how people can handle dealing with the light situation in here, because it just like, it makes you ill. It makes you feel like, I don't know.
Come here, boy. You want to be in the camera? Look.
He wants to suckle.
He wants to suckle. Oh, he goes, I don't want to be in front of the camera.
No. I want to crawl on top of the
keyboard. Or pull on
the cables.
Yes.
No.
Just like that.
Hello. Just get down. I don't think
so. Leave that alone.
Leave it alone. Can you get down?
Either you behave or you get down. Those are the two options.
Yeah. or find something else to be all excited about.
Yeah. But yeah, the lights, you know, so many different things that it's just not normal, you know, and affects a person's health, you know, tremendously.
And it stems from traumas and, you know, the mind. The mind can turn the nervous system into a disaster.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
You know, it really can. Yeah. And he makes that sound.
Whenever he like doesn't get
He goes up on his perch and pouts.
Yeah, very much so.
But yeah, we want to share.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to be silent.
Mm-hmm.
We want to warn people about the dangers of going down this road, taking these steps in transition per se, or changing your life so drastically that the majority of society won't accept you, majority of your family won't accept you. There's a lot of people that are lucky. We count ourselves lucky to have found each other, but we know and we see countless times how lonely it can be, and not just in the trans community, but as an LGBT community at large. You know, it's a very lonely place.
And that not everyone, in my opinion, should go down this path. That's something I've always said. Not everyone should definitely go down this path, because the payoffs are really not there. I mean, the total payoff of what a person loses compared to what they gain.
Yeah.
You know?
So images of a person who we've known on Facebook for a very long time. And they were absolutely stunningly gorgeous as a guy.
Mm-hmm.
And now they've had the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
They've had the surgery. I'm not talking about breasts. I'm talking about the one. And breast and everything else. And they're still, you know, taking pictures and just
nothing changed.
Lonely.
Yeah, lonely, same depression, same anxiety, same ailments that continue to plague them even after they've done everything they think humanly possible to do. You know?
Anything that drives a person to isolation is destructive.
Yeah.
You know, we just watched this movie the other day. It came out in 2007, about a young guy, maybe 23 years old at the time. It's called Into the Wild. If you guys have Netflix, or I don't know if it's on YouTube or whatever, but
Should be.
Emory University graduate, parents, buku rich, had his life, you know, really set out for him so that he could be successful. And, you know, not that the Matrix and working in corporate worlds is something to aspire to, but he did something where he wanted to disconnect from everything, everyone, and everything was like toxic. And his goal was to isolate himself so much so that he ended up moving to Alaska. And
hiking to Alaska.
Yeah.
Got rid of everything, destroyed his social security card, destroyed his ID.
Burned up his inheritance.
Yeah, pretty much. And just wanted to bail out completely from the Matrix.
I mean, when you were on your journey, the first one back in 2008, I mean, that's
pretty much what I wanted. Yeah, I sold my business. I didn't want any part of the Matrix society, the whole corporate. Everything was just so toxic to me. It was like everything was based on lies and greed, and I had clients that were wealthy clients, and being around them kind of like really turned me off completely to, you know, what we call life, you know. But yeah, he ended up.
Well, he ended up living off the land, which was something that he had always wanted to do, and got to disconnect all right. but made a huge mistake where he started to live off the land, in the sense of like he was trying to get back to civilization,
or he was going to.
He waited too long.
He was going to like leave Alaska for the winter because it was coming, but he kind of missed the boat.
The river went up and he couldn't cross it, so he got stuck and he ran out of food. And he started to look into the native species of plant life and ingested something that ended up dehydrating him and poisoned him, and he died a slow, painful death. And at the end of his life, he wrote down things, every so often. One of the last things he was able to scribble down was that life was meant to be shared.
Yeah, it is meaningless unless you're sharing those experiences with someone. And he was always running away. During his travels, he made some really nice connections with people, but
impacted their lives.
Yeah, impacted their lives, because he was a very intelligent and insightful young man. But he could never really engage in a relationship of any sorts, because he was always trying to be an island.
Mm-hmm.
And he learned right before he died that you need people. You need that special someone, to share your life experience with. You can't really be an island. So,
and, I learned
that isolation
from that myself. I left the comforts of here in Silver City, and we were going to get divorced and stuff. I had already gotten papers drawn up and stuff, and I wanted you to file them and everything. And we got into this big feud and fight and everything. And we were he said, she said, blah, 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 and hurting each other. And, the reality was that it didn't need to happen. We didn't need to pull apart, that we are meant to be together, and that the experiences that we share and the investment that we made in our relationship from the time I got injured, those of you who are familiar with my story, to the time that I left, we were inseparable. We did everything together. We had so many experiences and life-altering events that put us into each other's, lives in this weaved pattern. Mark ended up taking a job at this big corporate behemoth, called Walmart. Something that was totally against his principles. But he was desperate to get the rent paid and employment, and he did what he had to do to survive. And he went against his better nature, and did what he could. And I just saw how it was just hurting him. Afterwards, when I came back and we patched things up, and we were able to really grow our relationship in a way that was hey, okay. We were able to grow our relationship in ways that we hadn't been able to before. And, everything happens for a reason, guys. Cats. Maybe I should turn the light on. The main light. If you want.
Moral of the story, though, with a lot of people that actually follow their path into transition, they learn very quickly the solitude involved in transition. That very few people are fortunate enough in the trans community to actually develop an honest and good relationship. Find somebody that loves you, not wants to be with you as a fetish, but loves you for you and are willing to spend the rest of your life, with you, that kind of thing. And it's a common theme in the trans community, loneliness, you know, because their self-centeredness of changing their bodies and pursuing what they want, they don't realize they end up pushing everybody and everything away.
There's only room for one person, and that's the person that you want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's no room for honest, sincere devotion in love of another, because you're too busy loving yourself. I mean, we watched a video. Everybody knows in the trans community who Gigi Gorgeous is, and you know, very famous transgender woman, is engaged to a woman that, you know, has just been smitten by Gigi, and they're in love and stuff, and they want to have children, but you know, the challenges and the obstacles that are faced by trans women, and you know, and people in the LGBT in general is hard, right? And we noticed that, you know, Gigi wasn't talking about how hard it was going to be on Nat to have the eggs implanted, and you know, to be able to have, you know, these shots and all these, so I mean, all these crazy things that, you know, with a trans woman, obviously without having surgery, all they have to do is, you know, that thing that they do, and it's not painful.
But for her, what was it? It's all the embarrassment.
It's the embarrassment, yes, because it is so me-centered in this community. People are so selfish for protecting their own interests, you know, and they don't really consider the pain that is being caused to others, you know. I mean, it's, yeah, being trans is hard, obviously, and, you know, whatever, but, you know, the world doesn't revolve around just you, you know. I mean, Mark sacrificed several years of his life in rehabbing me, getting me to a place where I could feel good about myself, got me to a place where I was healthiest as I've ever been. Taught me things about diet, nutrition, health, and exercise that I had no clue about. And, you know, but I was selfish. You know, I didn't appreciate it. I took advantage of it. I took it for granted, and confused him in so many ways, you know, with our relationship and how the path that we chose to walk down. How I would be like, oh, Rabbit sees this, gotta go this way. Then he'd go, okay, let's go that way, all right. And then anything to make you happy, Lena, you know, anything to make you feel good about yourself and your transition, and, you know, oh, wait, oh, the guilt over your children, oh, we need to go here. Okay, so I'll sacrifice my transition so that you can have the children in your life, and, you know, I mean, all these things. And I wasn't appreciative of the person that the universe had given me that would love me regardless if I, you know, appeared masculine or feminine. It didn't matter to him. I mean, and that's the beauty of our relationship, is that he accepts me as I am. He accepts me regardless, you know, because he fell in love with me as a human spirit, as a spirit being, you know, and, you know, and I likewise fell in love with him that way, you know. And coming back, I realized that, you know, that's what was missing, that appreciation, that understanding. You know, I made lots of mistakes when I was gone, and did things that I regret. And, but I saw him being like a rock and doing his job and being responsible and going to work and sacrificing himself, and, you know, I mean, coming home and making a video and doing some music to entertain people and to help encourage people. You know, I mean, this person's full of character, full of lots of love, you know, for mankind, and lots of love for me. And, you know, I didn't appreciate it. But I do now. You know? And when he was working and doing his thing, we would both wake up at 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
We would both suffer as individuals, having to wake up at that god-awful hour of the morning. We were watching a TV show the other day. It was like, and sometimes we have to wake up at 3:30 in the morning, and it's like, we had to do that every single day. You know, 3 o'clock. You know. And then we got cats.
Which wouldn't let me sleep. And I was like, oh my God. I want to share the, today I got a call from the therapy group that I'm supposed to be using. That's the cheapest therapy group that could possibly be used is being used. Walmart as part of the workers'
comp. But the best.
Of course.
For RSS.
So they know that I have the left shoulder and mid to lower back injury. And they say, which one is the one that's bothering you the most? That's the one we're going to be treating first.
Take a pick.
What? I've got to choose from my back or my shoulder? I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm a therapist. And I've never in my entire life, and I've taken workers' comp cases, have had a patient tell me, which one would you like me to work on first? It's like,
no, you've been in a car accident, but should we work on the broken arm or, you know, the broken neck? I don't know. Gee, I guess you should do the neck.
Right. And then
we'll come back to the arm.
And I finally get a call from the claim adjuster after I called and threatened and left whatever. And it's like, they're going to take care of the injuries, but she claims that because I resigned that I'm not entitled to compensation, which it's all a lie.
You work for a company.
I work for a company. I get hurt from the company. Walmart's procedure or policy is that if you get hurt, they're going to get you back working no matter what. And the doctor wrote unable to return to work for the next month until he reevaluates me. Well, their procedure is it doesn't matter what the doctor, you're going to go back to work, even if it's in light duty, because they don't want to pay the compensation. And so I almost felt pushed into resigning because I am not going to be standing for long periods of time and continue to make my injuries worse just because you don't want to pay workers' compensation. So that, to me, that's just like, they used that whole, and originally they didn't want to pay the claim. So I'm like really pissed off and upset at these people. I'm like, why would I want to work for you guys when you don't even care about my injuries? I mean, these people are just.
And they lie.
And then the lady tries to like say, well, somebody said a state had prior injuries there before and that Walmart exacerbated the injury. I said, I have never had a back injury or a left shoulder injury. I've been the picture of health. They're lying. I mean, these people will do anything to get out of the claim.
And they're looking for reasons.
Yeah, not to pay.
Loopholes in the system in order to, oh, well, you had a prior injury, so we don't, we feel that was already there from before. And you already made a statement according to, and then the fact that they never got back to you.
Oh my God.
For like a week.
Yeah.
Because obviously the claims department is
trying to find ways to get out of it because that's what they do.
Do their homework and find dirt and whatever history.
Needless to say, I will be getting an attorney. And not only now is it going to be a workers' comp, now I'm going to I'm going to create a lawsuit against Walmart for endangering. Because, I mean, I got hurt, but it could have been even worse because of having a faulty cooler door. Not just one, they have several, and they have not fixed it because it probably costs a lot of money, and they don't want to spend that kind of money. So they'd rather have the workforces deal with having to open and close that door and submit ourselves to injuries.
Oh, and then when Mark called today to HR, they told him that he doesn't work there, so they don't really, they don't understand why he's calling, you know, and that's
because the other lady wasn't getting back with
they
him.
weren't getting back with him. So it's like, and
But I got injured.
and so rude and so like unprofessional. You know, it's like, well, you're not the only one.
Yeah,
you know?
She hasn't gone back with you because you're not the only one that she has to deal with. Well,
and why are you calling me? Because you don't work for Walmart anymore. You know, it's like no mercy, no consideration for the associate. You know,
they don't care about that.
They don't. They don't care at all. So, needless to say, this is going to be a long and drawn out battle with Goliath, the largest employer other than the United States government in the United States, Walmart. Walmart, a company that makes the government pay the health benefits for their people.
Because they hardly pay you, so
you have to get on government aid, you know. So it's really pathetic, you know, and Walmart should be ashamed of themselves for their culture.
It's big corp. That's what they do. It's the wave of the future, you know. It's
Walmart's own CEO. They asked him recently if he even shops at Walmart, and he's, "Oh no, I would never shop there. Neither would I let my kids shop there." It's like a company that the elitists run to give the peasants, you know, their food. You know, it's like, and it's taking over. Like,
you know, I wouldn't even.
It's a bad place.
Yeah.
If you shop there, I would reconsider.
I don't think you're getting any bargains or anything like that because you're not. I mean,
a lot of times you can find things cheaper
elsewhere,
somewhere else. You know? And if you live in a big city and you have a Walmart, there's really no reason to be going to Walmart. You know, I mean, in a small town, they have population by the throat because, you know, they figure
this is all there
is, you know. And
but luckily, there's online shopping. You get a lot of great, you know, deals online shopping, and you know, you got like this town has Albertson, and Albertson can be expensive, but if you look for deals, you can find good deals.
Yeah, and to do your homework.
Yeah, you have to go do your homework. And personally, I like to shop at the co-op, which in my local little, you know, farmers market type of thing, where they have local foods, which is what you should be eating anyway. If you're eating foods that come from another place and they've been in the refrigeration system where you get where they pack crown broccoli in ice and your asparagus in ice, and they're radiated, you know, and cross-contaminated with other foods, and it's just
you're air stacking bananas
so they don't get moldy and rotten and ripe too quickly. I mean, it's, you know, if your food has to go through that, you're not really getting the nutrients that you need. And without nutrients, your body can't fight infections, can't fight viruses, can't fight illnesses. Bottom line.
So yeah, we've basically decided that we're not going to be quiet anymore, and that we're going to share. And you know, we haven't decided when we're going to be doing our show, but we're going to be doing our show again. And I don't know what it's going to be called, but we're going to be doing our show and sharing everything that we can that interests us, and that, you know, maybe if anybody has ideas for issues and things that they want to know more information about, we can do some research and, you know, and share, you know.
And maybe possibly do some more interviews again. That would be nice too.
I know that's what you were doing.
Yeah.
Was interviewing
people. Yeah. I mean, voices be heard.
He's up on the thing.
No, they're both up there. Just don't want to climb the screen.
Well, if there's not a butterfly or a fly or an object out there.
She's looking up. She's always, you know,
She's the climber.
She loves to climb the screen.
She claws the screen.
Well,
We've got our hands full.
We do.
But,
We
you
love
know.
them. They're little angels.
With the broken heel.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Other times they're super sweet.
Yeah, they can be, as long as you don't tell them no. And so when you tell them no, like today I was on the phone with the agent and they're just, trying to get at my papers that I had and writing information.
Well, yeah.
That's what she's doing. I told you.
Oh my God. Get down.
Close that window.
Get down. Like, you have to climb on our screen.
Close the window. I knew it was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
It's like
she thinks she's a raccoon or
something.
A squirrel.
Yeah. Loves to climb on the thing. Yeah.
She screwed up our screen in the
bedroom. Yeah, she's planning to screw that one up too. She's done that climbing a couple of times. And now she's trying to figure out a way of doing something else because she can do what she wants.
They're mischievous animals. And I don't know, whoever wrote this thing that I read the other day about cats not having a vindictive nature or wanting to, like rebel or anything like that. Lie.
They know exactly.
Cats, and they have this unquenchable desire to, like, if they don't get their way,
they're gonna go do something bad.
To do something.
And they literally, what was it today when I told her no on the paperwork? Oh my God, still climbing.
Why are you climbing? Gosh.
And she couldn't get to the paper because I took the paper away from her, so she started biting the couch.
I closed the window to a slight, and she uses whatever she can. Yeah. See, that's what I'm telling you about cats. I mean, they just like have this hold on mentality, and hold on means F with you.
Like I'm gonna do what I want.
Yeah. It's like they can't be denied. I tell a dog to sit and stay.
And don't do that. And they're like, they put their little tail between their legs and they're like, I'm sorry. Not cats.
Cats don't think that you're God.
No.
Dogs.
They think they're God. They think they're the one.
Talking about, like there was this one, like a cat looking at one of the ancient Egyptian statues, and saying, my child, are you still in control of the humans? And they're like, well, they clean up my shit every day. So yeah, I guess they are still our slaves. Right?
It's like, I know it's kittyhood and all that. Hopefully they outgrow half of the things that they do.
Yeah.
And for
we love them, but wow.
Well, yeah, it's
a challenge.
It is challenging. And it's a good thing that we don't have like knickknacks and expensive things for them to.
We purposely bought cheap furniture
stuff because
they wanted to scratch them.
Every now and then they want to bite, cords and things. And then one thing I noticed, the more you give them energy, like for not to do something, the more they're like, oh, wait a minute, they don't want me to do this.
Yeah, so maybe they don't want me to do this.
So I'm going to do this. If you're kind of like, okay, I'm going to ignore that part. And then if you ignore it, they're kind of like, with the guitar thing, I figure if we continue to say something, they're going to knock that guitar over. But if I'm kind of like, oh, God, okay, maybe they'll just, and they do.
And the whole thing with, like, going under by the TV and the entertainment center, the worst thing we could have done was buy a glass black,
and
open entertainment
so they could get in there. Because usually you have the ones that are closed, the stuff are inside.
Because what do they want to do when we tell them not to do something? They want to go underneath the entertainment center, and they know it's hard for us to bend down and get them out of there.
Right.
And no matter what you do and say, they don't listen. So you have to go down there
and grab,
pull them out, and this whole thing. And it's like, no, cats are hard.
Yeah,
that's for sure. And you have to have extreme amounts of patience to do with them. And he's eating his sister's food. He always eats his sister's food.
Oh, no, because I'm going to tell him to get out. Because
why
move him to his because that's your food right there. That one, that's yours. Not no, that's yours. No, baby, because then no.
He's stubborn.
He is.
You eat that. You don't eat this.
No, they're stubborn.
So he'd rather not eat.
He eats his food and then he eats
He'd rather take her food.
Yeah. He's constantly, he finishes his, or he could still have food in his plate. He'll eat some of his and then he'll go and eat some of hers. And she
now
needs
he's
to get,
lying down.
Yeah, he needs to, he's getting fat and she's not,
eating enough.
Because he eats all her food.
She wants to save it for later.
She's not a fast eater. He's a glutton,
Yeah.
And now he's fat. But you see how, the more that you, it's like the more he.
Yeah, it's like, and it's not like he's hungry either, because he just
they have food 24/7. I'm always filling up these bowls with their little nibbler things, and we feed him.
He's probably gonna
the wet food. No, he's not. The wet food twice, one in the morning and then in the evening time, we give him wet food, and they have access to the dry food all the time. But he's constantly eating. She'll eat a little bit of her wet and leave some for later. Well, later never comes because glutton in here goes and eats his and eats hers. And I constantly have to watch him, but we can't be on him 24/7.
And I bet you if we put it down, he'll just nonchalantly go
back again. Because he does that. Very, very sneaky. He's super sneaky cat. Yep. And he's just sitting there thinking, I'll get to it. They won't even realize it. Yep. Yeah, we're looking at it. Yeah.
The joys.
The joys of kiddyhood. Anyway.
So I don't know if we're gonna do our show from here, but we might.
I think this will probably be the other place, because if we go to the living room,
they'll knock the tripod
down. And try to. Here, that usually goes. We've kind of established
isolated
a no zone when we're cooking and when we're eating, and that took, gosh, God knows how many times bringing them down. No, bringing them down. No, get on your porch, whatever it's called, and that was never ending, But finally, I think they kind of get the message. You tell them knowing, they may not like it, but you tell them know enough that eventually they get it. Although you have to remind them constantly, because it's not like one of those things. With a closet, you open up the closet door. Today, she was trying to be really fast, but she was trying to really get inside the closet.
It is what it is. We have cats.
Yeah.
You get what you asked for.
Yeah.
You put him in my head.
But then I said, you know what? Let's get an adult cat. But look, the neighbor across the street has a 5-year-old cat
peeing on
the sofa.
Couch.
She's had to buy sprays and whatever. And
don't work.
So, cats they're difficult.
So then, moral of the story is don't buy expensive
furniture. Yeah. And hope that, they outgrow all these things.
So
but we love them.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
So I don't know if we're going to do the show on Tuesdays or not, but
most likely. The time to be announced.
Essentially, college. Just back to Real Talk with the Cummings again.
Sounds good. Real Talk with the Cummings.
You're not going to change your channel, though.
I can.
Angelo's Corner. Can you?
Yeah.
Are they going to allow it?
Yeah.
You change it? Yeah. So for those that, missed us and wanted us to share, we're coming back. We're going to be back, and we're going to...
We call that Cummings Corner or Real Talk with the Cummings.
Yeah. Always worked. Not Gypsy Blue Nomad.
No, because we're not traveling.
Blues,
No.
and we're not planning on it.
No. Later in retirement.
After that, Eastern Diamondback Rattlesnake bit us. Oh, we watched a movie the other day. It was called The Canyon. And it was this newlywed couple that, you know, the husband.
He's eating it again.
I know he is.
Okay, he doesn't listen to you. Okay. This is your food, right?
The husband decided
this is your
to
this. That's what you eat.
to take them on a burro trip down the Grand Canyon, and they weren't like able to get the permits and stuff, so they found somebody that would give them access to the canyon, and bad things happened on their journey down there. And the guide ended up getting bit by rattlesnakes twice in the face, and once on the leg or something. And then the guy ended up losing his leg, and his wife had to like drag him literally, facing coyotes, fending his life, you know, their lives and stuff like that, from all these dangers and stuff in the wilderness. And finally they got rescued. But after watching that, I'm like, I don't really have the need or desire to go to the Grand Canyon or camping.
I found a bud
or anything, you know, because.
You know, every time I think it's hers, I'm going, oh, she's really eating her dry food. It's that he eats hers all the time. Because then he saves his for later. He eats all hers. No wonder she's not gaining weight.
I'm telling you. Doesn't matter.
He's especially a cat.
Whether it's a cat, whether it's a dude. It's like they take the food and they eat it.
Yeah.
Honey, you don't want that, do you? Yeah. I'll eat that.
Is that another bug? Yeah. I mean, it's something like that. So they're both like,
hopefully
they're killing. That's keeping it entertaining.
If what's her name sees it, she'll climb on the screen.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh. He's gonna jump on our computer.
He's
gonna jump on us.
Yeah, he's trying to. Did you get it?
Can't take the hunter.
Can you get it? Huh? Get it.
He's like,
get it. Where is it? Ah, where'd it go? You find it? Is it over there? Don't hurt yourself now. Where'd it go? Where is it? Is it down there? Look on top. Look on top. Maybe it's on top. No, not there, on top. Don't you go climb the screen because I will close that window. I think it flew away.
Anyway, I guess this concludes our show now that it's turned into
a cat show.
Looking for insects.
Yes. All right, guys. We love you. But remember to always love yourselves too.